The language test. Why is Latin in the Zohar? Jewish text leaves fingerprints. Language does not lie. Grammar does not evolve backwards. If the Zohar was written by Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai in the 2nd century, its language must belong to that world. It doesn't. Torah and Chazal have fixed linguistic eras. Dvarim 32:7 says, Zechor yemot olam beno shnot dor vador. Remember the days of old, consider the years generation to generation. Language is part of transmission. The Zohar uses foreign and late loanwords. This is where claims of antiquity collapses completely. The Zohar contains Latin loanwords that were not used in the Talmud, administrative and cultural terms used in the medieval period, vocabulary that entered Jewish usage only under Roman and medieval European influence. Examples noted by classical critics. Words such as pundak. Pundak is an inn in Latin, fundecum. Legionin is a legion in Roman. And platin de malka, platin means palace in Latin. These are not neutral words. They reflect Roman civic life, medieval European society, diaspora conditions, not in the 2nd century Galilee. Rabbi Eliyahu del Medigo in Bechinat Adat says that the Zohar contains leshonot she'inan mi'emei Tanaim klal, forms of speech that do not belong to the era of Tanaim at all. Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai did not live in the Latin-speaking medieval environment. Language records history whether the author wants it or not. Artificial Aramaic. The Zohar's Aramaic is inconsistent, grammatically unstable, saturated with Hebrew sentence structures. It reads like Hebrew written by medieval author, then mechanically converted into Aramaic. No authentic Tanaim text behaves this way. Del Medigo's linguistic verdict emphasizes the Zohar's Aramaic does not resemble Bavli or Yerushalmi. Its grammar has no precedence in Chazal. Its vocabulary reflects later intellectual environments. His conclusion, the language alone disproves Tanaim authorship. There is no concept of mystical dialect in Judaism. Defenders sometimes argue Rashbi used a special secret language. But Judaism and the Torah never recognized private prophetic grammar, hidden linguistic systems, and esoteric mystical vocabularies. In Kohelet 1:9, King Solomon says, En kol chadash tachat hashemesh. There is nothing new under the sun. The new language in the Zohar suddenly appears in the 13th century, claiming antiquity, and it cannot be true. It does not pass the Mesorah standard. The Mishnah in Pirkei Avot 1:1 says, Moshe kibel Torah miSinai u'masera leYehoshua. Moses received the Torah in Sinai and transmitted it to Joshua, and then on. Torah is preserved by continuous transmission, public teaching, known teachers and students. A book called the Zohar appears suddenly, has no manuscript trail, has no linguistic continuity, fails the Mesorah test. Rabbi Shria Gaon was the head Rebbe of the yeshiva in Pumbedita in Babylon in the 9th century. He records his Igeret. Every generation, every transition, every corpus of Torah literature from the period of the Tanaim, Amoraim, Savoraim, and Geonim. The Zohar is absent. Language is not an opinion, it's evidence. The Zohar speaks the language of medieval Europe, not the voice of 2nd century Galilee. The Zohar cannot claim to have ancient transmission from Moses at Sinai, while speaking the language from our exile in Europe. Join us on the next chapter, where we discuss the people, customs, and ideas that show up in the Zohar that were not from Rashbi's time.